Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Italian ebook before it's gone.
Do you know how to talk about where someone lives or studies in Italian? You'll learn how in just a moment. Hi, my name is Felice, and this is 3-Step Italian by ItalianPod101.com. In this lesson, you learn how to say where someone lives or studies through a quick conversation. Let's look at the dialogue. As you listen, pay attention to how they ask about the topic and how the other person responds. Anna, questa è mia figlia, Isabella. Per ora è a casa per le vacanze. Piacere, sono Anna. Piacere, Isabella. Sei al secondo anno dell'università? Sì, sono una studentessa della statale. Studio Relazioni Internazionali a Milano. Interessante! Sto leggendo un libro sulle relazioni internazionali. Let's hear it with the English translation. Anna, questa è mia figlia, Isabella. Per ora è a casa per le vacanze. Anna, this is my daughter, Isabella. For now, she is home for the holidays. Piacere, sono Anna. Nice to meet you. I'm Anna. Piacere, Isabella. Nice to meet you, Isabella. Sei al secondo anno dell'università? Are you in your second year of university? Pay attention to the next paragraph. Part of it follows the key speaking pattern you learn later in this lesson. Sì, sono una studentessa della statale. Studio Relazioni Internazionali a Milano. Yes, I am a student at the State University. I study International Relations in Milan. Interessante! Sto leggendo un libro sulle relazioni internazionali. Interesting! I'm reading a book about international relations. Let's look at the sentence pattern. Do you remember how the character said, I study international relations in Milan? Studio Relazioni Internazionali a Milano. Studio Relazioni Internazionali a Milano. This sentence follows the pattern here. Person plus studiare or vivere in present tense plus a city or in country. Person plus study or live plus in city or country. When you want to say where someone lives or studies in Italian, you use the verbs vivere, to live, or studiare, to study, in the present tense. The preposition you use depends on the place. For cities, you use a, like a Roma, in Rome. For countries, you use in, like in Italia, in Italy. The verb ending changes depending on the subject. For example, io studio, I study. Tu studi, you study. Lui, lei, studia. He, she studies. Here's how the line from the dialogue uses the pattern. Studio Relazioni Internazionali a Milano. I study international relations in Milan. Let's break it down. Studio. The first person singular of studiare, meaning I study. Relazioni internazionali, meaning international relations. A Milano, meaning in Milan. All together, I study international relations in Milan. Now, if you want to say where someone goes, you often use the verb andare, to go, with a preposition. The general pattern is person plus andare, present tense, plus a or alla or al apostrofo or alle, plus place. For example, vado all'università. This means I go to university. Let's break it down. Vado is the present tense of the verb andare, meaning I go. The subject, I, is already included in the verb. Al apostrofo is a combination of a, to, plus l apostrofo, the. It is used because università is a feminine noun starting with a vowel. So, al apostrofo means to the. Università means university. All together, vado all'università. I go to university. Literally, I go to the university. The preposition a combines with the article, depending on the noun. For example, a plus place. No article. Vado a scuola. I go to school. Al. A plus il. Vado al mercato. I go to the market. Alla. A plus la. Vado alla biblioteca. I go to the library. Al apostrofo. A plus L apostrofo. Vado all'università. I go to university. Alle. A plus le. Vado alle superiori. I go to high school. These small changes with preposition a, alla, al apostrofo, alle are very common in Italian. If you practice them, you'll sound more natural. Now let's look at some speaking examples. Vivo a Roma e vado alle superiori. I live in Rome and I go to high school. Can you see how the pattern applies here? Let's break it down. Vivo. The first person singular of vivere means I live. A Roma means in Rome. E, conjunction, meaning and. Vado. The first person singular of andare, meaning I go. Alle superiori mean to high school, where alle is a compound preposition formed from a plus le, to the, and superiori means high school, upper secondary school. Altogether, I live in Rome and I go to high school. Here's another example. Mio figlio va alle scuole superiori. My son goes to high school. Mio figlio va alle scuole superiori. My son goes to high school. Let's try one more. Vivo in Italia e vado all'università a Milano. I live in Italy and I go to university in Milan. Vivo in Italia e vado all'università a Milano. I live in Italy and I go to university in Milan. Another one. Va all'Università di Roma. He or she goes to the University of Rome. Di Roma here show which university, the University of Rome, not the location. Don't confuse it with the preposition a or in, used in our main pattern. Va all'Università di Roma. He or she goes to the University of Rome. One last example. Io e la mia amica viviamo in Francia e andiamo all'università. My friend and I live in France and go to university. Io e la mia amica viviamo in Francia e andiamo all'università. My friend and I live in France and go to university. Now you know how to talk about where someone lives or studies in Italian. And you can move on to the practice. A presto!